Assalamu alaikum friends, how are you? There's a very interesting thing I'm going to discuss with you today, and that is the commonalities between Z.A. Bhutto, Tahirul Qadri, Altaf Hussain Karachi, and Imran Khan Niazi. So there is one thing common between all of these, and that is going to be talked about in our today's discussion. Something really interesting. And that something interesting is that although they are all great orators, all of these means they had their parties, political parties. One of them, not only the political, but basically primarily the religious party. And more than their parties, they developed a personality cult. More than that of their personalities, more than that of their parties, they have developed a personality cult. They are like the cult leaders, all four of these. And because of this, because of this, their followers don't think whatever they are found saying is right or wrong, logical or illogical, rational or irrational, ethically, morally okay or not, because they are a cult leader. And like every cult leader, they are able to get the compliance, obedience from their followers. As far the other leaders in their party are concerned, they have the parties too. Since they have the parties too, as for the other second, third, fourth, third rank leaders are politicians and leaders are concerned, they do sometimes disagree, but not openly at all. Rather, in the closed doors, and that too in a very humble manner. Otherwise, no one can dare to disagree with them. No one can, as for their, as for those who are following, as for those who are accompanying them, they cannot afford to disagree with them because they are more like a cult leaders. They are more like a cult leaders. So, like every cult leader, they want a total compliance. They don't want if and but at all. Rather, they want everything else gets done. And you will be knowing that Hitler of Germany, that too, was one of the greatest cult leaders in the history because the Germans, not only the people from his own party, rather all the Germans used to follow him blindly. And that's why he did all that. It is said that he was an Austrian public, basically, and because of that, now the Germans don't give the nationality, they can give a visa forever. Hitler is not liked by the Germany of today. Why? Like every cult leader, maybe they cannot retain their strength and grip on their followers forever. Also, because Germans are very logical and very rational. As for their grooming, as for their education, standard of education is concerned. Unlike them, we the Pakistanis, we still have a great reverence. Some of us have a great reverence for Zede Bhutto. Although the circumstances have changed, and it was all because of his oratory or because of certain other thing, but he was more like a cult leader than like being a democrat, and then leading a democratic party. He was more like a cult leader. Now look upon then Mr. Tahirul Maulana Tahirul Qadri, and he too is a more like a cult leader. He hate to be called a Maulana. Somebody, if at all somebody calls him a Maulana, he will become very angry. Although he have been changing his titles. Earlier he was Maulana first, and then Allama then, Maulana first, Allama then, Qaide Inqilab then, Shaykhul Islam then, and lastly he likes to call himself as Dr. Tahirul Qadri. So Dr. Tahirul Qadri and then Altaf Hussain of Karachi, who created the MQM, who led it for a longer period of time, and he was not anyway lesser than a cult leader. Lastly, till now, Mr. Imran Ahmad Khan Niazi is also a cult leader, more like a cult leader, although he is heading a political party, and he would be taking the opinion of his second rank politicians and leaders, but still openly nobody can dare to disagree, no matter how wise or intelligent he she is. I think he is also like a cult leader, and he is following all the three in certain way. He is following Zedde Bhutto, he is following Taharul Qadri, he is following Altaf Hussain, and he is following all these three, and maybe certain other people who don't even belong to Pakistan. He has established a kind of cult, and the proof of that is that if at all you are having some sort of difference of opinion with the stance of Mr. Raike Niazi, no matter how rational you are, no matter how logical you are, no matter how unbiased you are, the PTI people, are not going to tolerate you at all. Why? Who are these PTI people who will not tolerate you despite the fact that you are highly unbiased and you don't see any sort of biasness, you are not biased in any way at all, but despite that you think you disagree with them, you say something which does not go into their benefit, into their interest, but they are not going to tolerate it at all, they are not going to patiently listen to you at all, rather they will start a kind of bombardment upon you on the social media. Your trolling will be started. Why? Not because he a politician cannot do that. He is a politician, but he is not only a politician, he is a cult leader as well. And being a cult leader, all of that things does happen. I think that we, the people of Pakistan, we shouldn't be following these people, these politicians who are trying to be a cult leader, because these cult leader does not these cult leaders, I think they are, they are somewhat charismatic personalities, and the people take them like they are like worshipable people, they are worshipable leader. The politicians, I think that's absolutely wrong. I think, like, if at all they are a politician, if at all they are doing the politics, they allow the others to disagree with them and to present their case in a more logical, in a more rational manner, and they should be respecting everyone else who is unbiased and unbiased, and being an unbiased person, if at all he disagrees with them, his opinion should be respected. But this is not being done by Mr. Ike Niazi, by the PTI people, because they are a cult, and Mr. Ike Niazi himself, Imran Ahmad Khan Niazi himself, he is not anyway lesser than a cult leader. We, the people of Pakistan, we don't need the cult leaders at all. We need the genuine politicians. We need the democrats, and we need the genuine democrat. And what is meant by a genuine democracy? It being a genuine democrat. What is meant trivially by being a genuine democrat? I think it is meant, if at all you allow the difference of opinion inside your party and outside that as well, although you have got every right to present your opinion in a logical, in a rational manner, I think you have every right to form your opinion on the basis of solid argument. But if at all someone else does not allow you to become to present your difference of opinion in a logical, in a rational manner based on the solid argument, I think most of the people, maybe all the politicians in Pakistan, maybe all the party heads in Pakistan, they are trying to be a charismatic personalities. They are trying to be a cult leader, although though none of them have succeeded, but one of them had succeeded. The four of these had succeeded. The cult leaders in the history of Pakistan, in the politics of Pakistan, Mr. Z.D. Bhutto first, Tahirul Qadri, and Altaf Hussain, and now lastly it is Mr. I.K. Niazi himself. I think so. Now the biggest cult in Pakistan, and now the biggest cult amongst the people of Pakistan is that of Mr. Imran Khan Niazi. I think that we need to get rid of all these cult leaders, because as far the cults are concerned, they are demanding the blind followings and nothing else. As far these blind followings are concerned, these are really dangerous, and these are really dangerous indeed. Look upon the life of all three earlier cult leaders, Z.D. Bhutto, Altaf Hussain, and Tahirul Qadri. You will come to realize that they have damaged a lot the society, and they have contributed very little, but the kind of loss they have incurred upon the national interest, upon the general public of Pakistan, that was probably a kind of catastrophic. Although Mr. Taharul Qadri, Allama Maulana Taharul Qadri, Doctor and Sheikhul Islam Taharul Qadri, I think he couldn't get an opportunity to rule or to gain that much of the political power. The political power he does have, but he couldn't get the he couldn't get the rulership. He couldn't become the head of the state. He couldn't become the head of the government. He couldn't win any provincial assembly at all till now. But he acted like a cult leader. He is actually a religious scholar, a great orator. As far as oratory is concerned, I am his fan as well. As far the oratory is concerned, but just the oratory. As far if at all you examine his stances on his religious stance on the basis of Quran, you will come to know there are a lot of contradictions, and there is no match. There is a very little. And if at all you talk about his politics, you will come to know that he, despite the fact he was a cult leader, but he has failed miserably in the field of the politics, because he couldn't rally enough number of votes, enough number of voters, and that's why he couldn't gain much of the power in the politics. Dear friends, we the people of Pakistan, we don't need the cult leaders at all. They are doing more bad as compared to the good they have done with the society, with the country. That is something we the people of Pakistan needs to understand. Unless and until we don't understand it well, I think we are not going to become, we are not going to lead to become a successful or a prosperous nation at all. We have been misled by all of these cult leaders. Apart from as for the other politicians are concerned, they are, I think they too are not good at all. But as for these cult leaders are concerned, they have got more destructive power than the rest of the politicians. And let's try to get rid of all these. They can can become a true democrat. And it is nice if at all they are working, they are acting, they are speaking like a democrat. That is really fine. Otherwise it is not good at all. Being their cult leader, being a leader, being developing a kind of cult, that is not good at all, and it must not be appreciated. It must not be approved at all, because the cult leaders have never done good with any of the society. As for the Pakistani society is concerned, I think there is much more ignorance as compared to the many other societies. For that reason, I think these cult leaders must not be supported at all. Rather, we should demand the kind of argument we should demand from them that lead us through argument, through reason, through logic, through rationality, through knowledge, but not not as a cult at all. Because as for the cults are concerned, the cults are really destructive for any of the society. In a society like Pakistan, where there is more ignorance, I think it is more bad than other societies. Say no to the cults and say no to the cults leaders.